The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. I'm a radio talk show host. You can hear my shows Monday through Friday from 5 to 9 a.m. on WVNN in Huntsville, from 10 until 11 on Talk 99.5 in Birmingham, and on News Radio 1440 in Montgomery. And then once again, more Dale Jackson in North Alabama on the from 3 until 4 every weekday, Monday through Friday. With me, as always, Mecca Music, CEO of 256today.com, smart news for smart people. Mecca, there's a busy week. We got a great guest today, Paul Finley. How excited are you?
So excited
Very
for
excited.
our guest. That's my mayor, just letting you'll know. My mayor will be here.
Okay, I guess there'll be a softball interview coming up here in just a second with Paul Finley, the mayor of Madison. I've got a parting shot for you. I found a sundown town in Alabama. I found one. Stay tuned. I'm going to give it to you at the end of the program. But for right now, let's go ahead and get to that 2-minute warning. All right, this has been a really interesting week in the discussion of the news, because a lot of people have been saying, basically, yeah, murder's bad, but what if he's a CEO we don't like? Which is a very interesting thing to say, considering there's a lot of CEOs that people don't like. There's one like, I don't know, Mecca, the Tesla CEO, the Twitter CEO people are not too happy with, the CEO of oil companies,
Yes.
The CEO of Fox News. I think, honestly, if we saw someone take out one of them, I think a lot of people would react exactly the same way. I'm shocked by this for a couple of reasons. One, people are so ridiculously ignorant of how insurance works in this country and healthcare in general. And two, the absolute unvarnished ugliness and nastiness of murder's bad, but you can only be pushed so far. Warren, AOC, Bernie Sanders, tons of media figures saying this. I'm shocked by it. But is the shooter a hero or a villain? You would think it's the fact that this is even a question blows my mind.
Okay, so I think it's less that the shooter is a hero. I think it's more that people do view, whether you agree with this or not, as insurance companies being the villains.
They may view them as the villain, but here's what's interesting. 71% of Americans are happy with their health care coverage. 58% are happy with the cost of their health care coverage. You could say that health care is bad all you want. It's the worst thing in the world.
Or the system that we have.
Or the system is bad and all
like
this other stuff. Our outcomes are better than anybody else. We spend the most money because we have the most money. That's the reason. And it's so short-sighted. And I always ask people this question. If your health care, which is coupled to your employer, that's how it works for most of us, were to go away tomorrow, is your employer going to give you a raise? No. So now you're going to I want to buy my insurance myself. Okay. You're not going to get any more money from your employer, and you're going to give up your health care. The moral of the story here is people are stupid. And that's the moral of the story here.
That's
I'm frustrated by how evil they're behaving.
Don't ignore. You make very valid points, and I think a lot of people agree with you. But also, a lot of people do think that this is shining a spotlight on some. There are heartbreaking situations with insurance companies,
of course.
and some of the battles that you have to do to get the health care that you pay for.
There are heartbreaking stories that go with municipalities too, and how roads get built, lives get destroyed. That happens. People complain about that stuff. So
are we going to bring that up with Mayor Finley later?
But we could bring it up with him. But here's what would happen. If somebody shot somebody over that, no one's going to say, oh, well, that's how the cookie crumbles. No, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
And this is kind of a continuation of, remember, the assassination attempts on Trump.
Yes.
And people being like, oh, I wish he hadn't missed, and things like that. And that was also deplorable, absolutely. And that just, is that more right? Is that more a reflection of where we are?
Yes.
Okay.
We're an amoral society, and that's, I don't mean to cut you off there, but
no, that's fine.
The answer to your question is yes, we're an amoral society, and we're way over the time here. So let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about Katie Britt and her welfare plan, for lack of a better way to put it. Here, it's as simple as this. If you're an able-bodied adult with no dependents, there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing something in order to receive whatever benefits you're receiving. It would be they SNAP benefits or anything else like that. And you're going to have a lot of people complain about this, but she's speaking to the DOGE people, Elon Musk, another CEO that people don't like, who I mentioned earlier, Vivek Ramaswamy. They're going into this whole DOGE thing, the Department of Government Efficiency stuff, and saying, hey, we're wasting a bunch of money on people who could be out there working who are just choosing not to. And I think this is reality. We've talked about this before. The pandemic showed a lot of people that they could get by on whatever the government will give them. And I think there's a lot of people doing this. Katie Britt is saying here, you got to work for this. If you want to suckle on the teat of the government, you're going to have to put in a little work or school or something like that.
Don't use that phrase. There's got to be.
She didn't say that. I'm just framing it that way.
There's got to be some.
So shouldn't able-bodied adults work?
I think most people would obviously agree. Yes, I think also people would agree with those that need the help and need assistance from us, that they should be entitled to it. I think it's the exploitation. But, furthermore, what's really interesting is people have been wondering, okay, what does a second term with Trump look like? What does DOGE look like? What is this administration going to do? And I think Senator Britt very smartly has put forth a path, a direction, a narrative that can really outline some of the things that will happen under Trump's second term.
And it's not just her.
Tuberville's
absolutely right in the mix too.
Yes.
I mean, the Alabama senators are right in the mix of the Trump administration. They are Tuberville on Hegseth and all this other stuff. Yeah, and all these things that are happening, they're right in the middle of this. I just, you mentioned, the people who have other things. Like if you got a kid, they're going to give you benefits. That's just the way it is. But if you're a 30-year-old man who's sitting at home by yourself and not working just because you're lazy, then they shouldn't give you benefits. And I think that's what they're trying to cut out. You got to find those people, and it's not that big of a number, but one is too many. Well, let's move on and talk about something else happening here in the great state of Alabama. Look, I can't even start to describe what was found in the Fairhope Library and the Spanish Fort Library this week. I can't even describe it. Because it is graphic pornography. And this isn't like, you got a bunch of church moms clutching their pearls and screaming about the children. This is graphic pornography in the library. And when the people went to the library and said, hey, what is this? The librarians were like, well, you can take that up with the city. Okay, that's exactly what they're going to do. There's still things going on right now, Mecca. There's a potential drag ban in bills.
Okay, so listen, you know how we say we need to talk more about the topics before we go on air?
Sure.
Okay, so I thought we were talking about HB 67.
We are. I'm getting there.
Okay,
I'm tying these things together.
Go ahead.
There's a ban on a potential ban on drag bills and stuff like this. It's all tied together because there's this idea that now that the election's over, things are going to chill out. And the answer is no, that's not going to happen. They didn't learn their lesson here. People are not going to chill out over this, are they, Mecca?
Oh, no. Well, not only that, you have to look at Trump's success in really hammering down on these issues that you're speaking about and many others are speaking about. The success he had in this last election, obviously the Republicans in Alabama are going by that blueprint.
And why wouldn't they? It's absolutely brilliant to do. I mean, it's exactly what people want. This is what people want. And I put it about no one learned their lesson. It shouldn't even be a question because nobody learned their lesson. The reality is not a single person learned their lesson on this. They told them straight up, if you continue behaving this way, you're going to lose elections. They lost elections, and they're just continuing on. And now Alabama's going to, if they don't pass a law on this, it's crazy.
Since I actually did the prep work for the bill. Can we talk about the bill a little more?
Sure. No more grooming in school. There you go. That's the bill. That's the bill.
For public schools, libraries, no drag shows, and there's a second part to it. That someone of the opposite sex, no matter what they identify as, in certain facilities would not have
no sleepovers with the opposite sex on the state time.
Okay. That's not the way the bill's written.
But I mean, that's the gist of it.
It's.
I'm a man of the people. I speak it to the common people, and that's reality. And look, again, learn your lesson. The people have spoken on this. They have been crystal clear. We do not like this. This will not continue without a problem. And you'll lose this culture war battle every single time. Drag queens, Andrea Alvarez, Huntsville City School Board member, one of the dumbest elected officials that have ever been elected. She said, maybe we need more drag queens in schools. And she insisted, I never said that. And I said, okay, well, should we have more drag queens in schools? Wouldn't answer that question. So draw your own conclusions. Let's move on. Let's talk about Trump's cabinet. Trump's cabinet, very important to discuss because this is what's going to guide the Trump administration into the next term. Mecca talked about that earlier, and it looks like all of this talk about stopping these nominees has pretty much dried up. The only thing that was left really was Hegseth. We'll come back to Pete Hegseth here in just a second. Kash Patel, it looks like the runway's been cleared for him because Christopher Wray is going to leave the FBI. So now the only guy left that's really a question is Pete Hegseth. Got Joni Ernst's support. that the talk of withdrawal is over. I think
I think to a degree.
They got Matt Gaetz and failed on everyone else.
But you called that. You said it was a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
And then
don't stop Matt Gaetz. Okay, I guess he'll go beyond Newsmax.
And then everybody else gets through. I would say HEXF still has a battle. I agree with you on Patel at the FBI. I think that one. And then Isaacson, remember that to lead NASA, a lot of people were surprised by this pick, but then they were like, oh, I'm kind of curious. This is a space guy. Let's see what happens. But I think HEXF still faces the battle. However, and you mentioned this earlier, Tuberville coming out so strong. They're kind of circling the wagons a little bit. And I think it's implied that if you're a senator who's not going to back these nominees, there will be consequences.
I think the Ernst thing is actually, the Tuberville supports. He stood up and said, it's important no matter what. I don't even agree with that. But Ernst, she was a question mark. She is one, there was a question about combat veterans and things like that for women and things like that. And he apparently smoothed that over with her. So she said she's not going to oppose it. Well, not opposing is accepting. That's really what it means.
And the best thing I've heard about these kind of situations as these sometimes go through is there's two kind of Republicans in D.C., Trump Republicans and Republicans who are worried that Trump will have somebody primary against them.
I think that's far overblown. Trump's power sometimes I think is overblown in that regard, and I think the fear is overblown as well. The stuff about the NASA guy I think is kind of interesting because I've talked to a lot of people at NASA over the last couple of weeks. There's a lot of concern about SLS. There's a lot of concerns about things like that, and I think there should be. The reality is a program that's been going on forever, and now we're delaying it even further. If you're out there talking about cutting things, maybe that's it.
It's sort of a big deal. You want to get it right. You want to do it well.
But that's not to say they're not going to try to do those things, but that just may not be the avenue they're going to go. Who knows what the answer to that is, but we'll continue to cover that when it comes time to do so. Coming up next, Paul Finley will be with us. He is the mayor of the city of Madison. Stay tuned right here on Alabama Politics This Week.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Extra anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom, Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. US Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. US Med. Better service. Better care.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com. Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
Call 877-744-0750. That's 877-744-0750. 877-744-0750.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Get the latest scoop on Bama straight from the coach's mouth. Stream the Kalen DeBoer Show anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. With me, as always, Mecca Music. And our guest this week is Paul Finley. He is the mayor of the city of Madison for now. Because I'm going to start with this.
That sounded so bad.
I'm going to start with this question. I'm not going to take him out here, but you're not running for re-election.
I'm not.
This is not the first time I've heard this from you.
Correct.
This is the second time when you've decided that you were not going to run for a consecutive term. Why not?
I think in this case, really the mayor isn't what defines me. A family, I have my own business. I do consulting. I love that part of it. I feel like 13 years is going to be enough. In essence, it's 3 years, 3 terms plus 1 year. I love what I do, but in this case, I think it's just time to let somebody else have the reins.
So 4 years and then you're back?
I don't think it's going to work that way this time.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, fair enough.
But I will never say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mayor Finley, will you talk to us a little bit about the city of Madison's unique role in the state of Alabama?
Yeah, I think Madison, first, as one of the top 10 cities, we're number 9 at 62,000, but we are kind of an anomaly in that entire group, mainly because we're surrounded by Huntsville. So I think where we fit in this Tennessee Valley area, obviously a great school system, close to the airport, close to Research Park. But I also feel like having 3 voices in many instances to go down to Montgomery, up to D.C., and ask for the bigger things. We're prepared for growth, but I don't know if any of us are prepared for the growth that may come in the next 10 years. So I think we're uniquely positioned to not only help this overall Tennessee Valley, but also in the city of Madison, make sure we keep education strong and then continue to partner with our teammates.
Mayor, can you tell me about the MLB requirements that Madison is having to adhere to? But it doesn't just affect Madison. It affects many other areas in Alabama, well, the ones with baseball teams.
Yep. Right.
And also about the option that is currently being debated for the extra build on, if you will.
I will.
But talk about the requirements first and what led us to here.
So I think there's 2 things. One, when we started with the Trash Pandas, great partners, by the way, love continuing to work with them. They were a minor league baseball team. Major League Baseball purchased minor league 2 years ago. And when they did 2 things. First, they put requirements on every stadium to be able to come up to a minimum standard. Even though we're only 4 years into this stadium, we don't meet the qualifications for the visitors clubhouse and female umpires and coaches. So that's going to happen. The reason why would they put those on there, I didn't know this. Major League Baseball is competing with college, with all the NIL stuff, and then getting kids out of the colleges into the minor leagues is tough right now. And so they wanted the facilities that they're going to be in to be safe, to be upgraded as best they can. So that's the main requirement and the why behind why we're looking to
do this. So the
work
worst construction, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, so I've been in some clubhouses other than the ones at the Trash Pandas, and they're pretty rough looking.
They are.
I mean, the ones that where you guys play at Toyota Field in Madison, they look good. And the fact that they've got to be upgraded, I think is pretty telling for anyone in the know, knows that there's a requirement here that's actually pretty high. The cost, though, is sort of what I think people are concerned about. The stadium's $42 million, if I remember correctly.
The stadium was 46.
46,
yeah.
And now there's an additional $30 million you guys are talking about. And because of all the upgrades and then some additional stuff you guys want to do, that's kind of ballooned that cost up.
It has. I think the good news for us, though, is we have options. When we put the funding model in place, we did it with Ball Corp's revenue and lodging tax. When Huntsville raised their lodging tax in 2017, we did ours too. Theirs went to the VBC. Ours has gone towards the stadium. Right now, our bond payment was $3.1 million this year for that stadium. Those two revenue sources I talked about generated $3.6 million. So we're already have additional monies to spend. Do we put it into $12.5 million, which is kind of a sunk cost that you're not necessarily going to get back? Or do you add 3 stories, which creates a revenue stream that in turn helps you pay that back over a 25-year period? The good news for us is we have choice. I think in that case, council's now obtaining every piece of information they can, because what isn't there is just a $30 million, just what would we do with it? If we had $30 million, we'd probably put it directly into roads right now.
Right.
But you have to have a revenue source to be able to bond $30 million.
Sure.
So I think that's the one thing I agree with our public. If you had a choice of where to spend it, you'd spend it on roads. But right now, we're just trying to figure out, can we recoup something that is a sunk cost?
So there was already supposed to be a vote on the additional build in addition to the MLB requirements. Why was that vote postponed?
Because I didn't think we were ready to have the vote. I don't think we'd had enough information to our council. This is a unique council in the sense that they need information. They're very well educated, and we simply hadn't been able to get them all understanding of, and I won't say the good, the bad, and the ugly, but all the revenue pieces and what could be done. So we instead of rushing it through, let's take an extra month, because we're trying to meet the 2026 season, but gosh, don't do it at the expense of making a bad decision.
Okay, so I think it's a foregone conclusion this thing's probably going to pass. So let's just accept that as that's probably what it's going to be. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think this is what it is. But I just ask this question all the time, so I'm going to relay it to you. Have the Rocket City Trash Pandas been a net positive for the city of Madison? And by the time this bond stuff is done, will the city be in a far better position than when they started because of them?
Sure. The first answer is absolutely yes. Other than the COVID year, where, again, they were guaranteed $1 million. Even without baseball, they generated almost $750,000 in revenue. Each year after that, they've been net positive to what they said they would give us. Okay. Last year, about almost $1.6 million. So absolutely. Will they continue to be? Yes, because whether it's the deal we have now or we work something else out with them, they're going to continue to generate more revenue than the bond payment we have right now.
And I wasn't even talking about revenue-wise. I was just talking about an impact on the community and quality of life.
No question.
But that's a better answer that you gave. So you know what? You just stay mayor for a little bit longer.
Wait. I have one more quick question.
Sure.
Who would you like to see as the next mayor of Madison?
You.
That's a terrible answer.
No, but you had to ask the question.
Answer.
You know what? Why don't you guys go off stage right now and talk about it? Because Becca's leaving the program, meaning the show's going to get a lot better. I'll get to the party shop and get back. Thank you very much to the mayor of Madison for joining us, Paul Finley. We'll be right back here on Alabama Politics This Week.
What's the address of your emergency? My 2-year-old son. We can't find him.
From the Fox 54 Plus True Crime Series.
I did not get an attorney because I'm a guilty man. I got an attorney because I'm tired of being accused of something I would never do.
Little man's gone. He's missing. We can't find him.
Little Man Lost. Available now on Fox 54 Plus. Stream on your schedule.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. US Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. US Med. Better service. Better care.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new Care Watch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The Care Watch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. The Care Watch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your Care Watch right now. Operators are standing by.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. We'll get to the parting shot here in just a second, where I have discovered an actual sundown town in Alabama. We've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. But before we get to all of that, let me remind you, head on over to yellowhammernews.com right now. Sign up for my email blast, the 7 things you should be talking about today. And every single morning, Monday through Friday, I'll deliver you an email that tells you those 7 things you should be talking about every single day and what you should think about them. Really, it's a one-service shop for you. But right now, let's head on over to the parting shot. My parting shot this week is directed at all the people who continue to try to imply that there are sundown towns in Alabama. And we're going to go through a couple of things here real quick. Garland Gudger, the state Senate pro tem-elect, has thrown $1,000 on my challenge to anyone who can find a sundown sign picture from Coleman that was taken in the last 50 years. I'll give you $1,000 and he'll give you $1,000. So we're up to $2,000. But nobody has taken me up on this. A lot of people have tried, but nobody has succeeded with an actual picture of the sign. But I did find a sundown town here in the state. Now, what is a sundown town? Well, traditionally, it is a town that people are afraid to go in or stay in after sundown. And the answer to this is Birmingham. Birmingham is a sundown town in the great state of Alabama because there are wide swaths of this city where you would not let members of your family go and nobody would want to live in after sundown. And we've seen once again this week the mayor of this city respond to a video where men are carrying semi-automatic weapons in the streets. And when he is asked about it, he says, "Oh, the only crime I see there is jaywalking." And there are clearly other crimes there on camera, and the mayor cannot even take that seriously. Mayor Randall Woodfin is writing books about his life, preparing for something else in the future, while his city that he oversees is seeing record violence and record murder, and he doesn't really seem to be all that interested in it. And for that reason, people are afraid to go into the sundown town of Birmingham, Alabama at night. So while they've tried to tear apart Coleman, Alabama, and their Christmas market is seeing record attendance in spite of what's happened, and with people smearing it on social media and in mainstream media outlets like AL.com, the true sundown town in the state of Alabama is not Coleman. And it's not some rural town somewhere. It is what formerly used to be the biggest city in the state. It's Birmingham, and it's not getting any better because the mayor of this town doesn't seem to want to take any of this seriously. And as long as that is going, which will probably be for as long as he is mayor, the city of Birmingham will have to deal with this reputation, not from the distant past or a made-up myth or anything like that, but from its current present time that shows that it is, in fact, a town you do not want to be in after sundown. Thank you very much for watching Alabama Politics This Week.